guys! Alright, hey guys, today, this is Stephanie Pickard, and today we're going to go over how to tap on guitar. So let me know that you can see me and that everything is good. Hey guys, this is Stephanie Pickard, and today we're going to do how to tap on guitar. Alright, so let me know that you can see me, and we'll get started. So I'm going to give you a basic way to get started, and then we'll do some examples too. So I'm just going to check that we're all good in case I'm talking to myself, which would be awful. Let's see. All right, we're good. So you guys have asked us about different topics, and today I wanted to focus on tapping. So there's, a little ways to make it easier, and then there's ways to complicate it too later down the line. So whether you're just starting out or you're advanced, we can go over all of it. And remember, leave comments below. Let us know other things that you want to go over. I'll be here every Tuesday doing a long lesson, and Robert will be here on Thursdays, and then quick tips on Fridays. So give us short and long topics. And I'll also leave you a discount code just for sticking around. So all that I was doing is actually much more simple than it looks. So this guitar has no fret markers. I know some of you have said that that's hard for you, so I'll explain where I'm at always. Yeah, I'm just doing this in A. So I'm tapping 12, and I have my pointer on 5, and my pinky was on 8, and my ring finger was on 7. And I was just tapping, pushing off of the guitar, and then pulling off, and then repeating it. And then when you get better at it, you can do it faster. But what I want to emphasize the most is that when you are tapping, when I first explain this to people, what I feel is the most helpful is that, and I've said this before, so if you've seen other lessons that I've done, is exaggerating motions that you're just learning. So when I'm tapping, what I do is I really slap my finger down, and then I push the string off. So, oops, I did a different note, but it sounded kind of cool. So I'm just pushing down, so I'm actually literally tapping, and then pushing my finger off the string. And the string doesn't go crazy because of the pressure that we're putting in our picking hand. In our fretting hand. And then we can mix up different patterns and stuff later on when we feel comfortable, but that's the basic idea, is that we're slapping a finger down, we're holding with our fretting hand the notes that we're going to play next, and then it's kind of like a pull-off, like a hammer-on pull-off action. So I slap and I push off, but remember, it doesn't go crazy because I'm holding down. And then to make it more exciting, you can pull off, so you're getting 2 notes. And the trick that I think people don't always talk about that's kind of weird is that you are holding down the note before, but it's not your first note. So when you read a tab sometimes, it looks a little confusing because they might write the tapped note first, and you might, if you're just starting out, you might not know that you're supposed to place your hands down. So I always place my fingers down before, so the next note, because you are pulling off to that note. So in this case, I'm tapping 12, pulling off to 5, and then I was going, in this case, I'm holding down 5, and I'm also holding down 8. So I'm going 8, 7, 5. And then all I did was move. I moved my tapping hand. So if you play a lot of scales and stuff, all I was doing was using the patterns that kind of repeat. So how we go whole step to half step a lot of times. And then if we replace the next finger with the finger before it, it'd be half to whole. Do the same thing, it'd be whole, whole, whole. So that was the mentality that I had when I was picking notes to tap. So I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Cool. Hi guys, from the Ukraine, Van Halen style. Yep, I wore my Van Halen shirt just because of the topic. Van Halen is the best, so hopefully you guys like Van Halen too. But that is the idea. So some of the more complicated taps are like the Van Halen taps, and they can definitely get tricky when we start using different notes and things too. Okay, so let me see something. So let's go over those. So that was 12 to 13, and then to 15. And what I did earlier when I was just kind of improvising, and something that I like to throw in, is when I bend, I like to tap like a whole step above that note, so I go and bring it down. But if you guys are starting out like we were just talking about, and you're just getting used to stuff, and you want to really, really learn these motions, an exercise that I would do is I would get used to just playing one note. So going, just that motion of tapping that we talked about exaggerating. So pressing down and pushing off. And then when it gets a little easier, try adding in 2 notes. And sometimes they go different ways. Sometimes we go like a hammer on next, and sometimes it's a pull off. So I would practice both motions of tapping first, hammering on. So I tap, pull off, hammer on, and the opposite. Tap, pull off. You can practice them back to back, or just one motion at first, or the other one. All right, I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Let's see. So remember, please go ahead and leave us comments about other subjects that you want to do too. All right. So, cool. All right. So, let's see. Yes, Steve Vai taps too. And one thing that I really wanted to go over today, and remember we'll do about 30-minute lesson, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a Q&A at the end. So, one thing I also think is really cool is the beginning of Green Tinted 60s Mind, where we go. And the coolest part about that to me, sorry, I bumped my guitar, is the tap slide. So that's a kind of simple exercise that I wanted to show you guys because it sounds harder than it is, but it's really cool and it's pretty simple. So if you have a chance to grab your guitars, go ahead and grab your guitars. And I started, let's see if you can see everything okay. So I started by picking the first string, and I did a hammer-on pull-off. Then I'm going to go open, open. So open second string to open first string. Then I pull off 7, 5, 0. So I go. Then I hammer on the third string, 2 to 4, then 5 to 7. So all together. So let's try that again. And then comes my tap. So I tap 12 and pull off. So try that if you can really quick. How many of you actually have your guitars in your hand? That would be cool. And yes, Big Mr. Big is a Paul Gilbert song. So that's cool. All right. Sorry guys, my Facebook page is loading. And hi from Brazil, that's awesome. And yes, Jennifer Batten is very cool too. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, sorry, I have to toggle between YouTube and Facebook. All right, so I know you can't follow along with my fret markers, but I'm going to open, hammer on pull off, open, open. So first string 2 to 0, and then I pick 2, 1, pull off 7 to 5, hammer on the third string 2 to 4, hammer on 5 to 7, and tap 12. Remember, exaggerate that motion, and then pull off to 0. So 12, 7, 5, 0. So then there's a second half. So the second half is a little bit harder. We're going to actually tap 17. So, and if you don't know your fret markers, that's a really, really good thing to know. So, you know, it goes 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, obviously. But after 12, which is our 2 dots, and you also have them here. So that's why not having dots on the fretboard doesn't really affect you. So 12, 15, 17. So 2 dots after 12. So then I'm going to go 10 to 12. So I have my tap, and I'm actually placing my finger down, right, on the 10th fret, first string. Pull it off, and then slap my finger down to hammer on a 12. Then 5 to 7. So I tap 12 or tap 17 again. Then I'm going to tap 16, and I've moved my pointer to the 4th fret. And I go 16 to 4. And that part's pretty hard because I go off the guitar, slap, slap. So 4 to 7. Then comes our tap slide. So then I tap 12, but I don't release the pressure. So I did now because I'm talking, but I don't release the pressure. I keep it down and I move all the way to 16, back to 12. So like this, and pull off. So I think those are really cool. They're really fun. So tap, pull off, pull off. And then you put them all together. Sorry. So let's do a little bit slower so you guys can see it. All right, so let me know if you guys enjoy tap slides. I think they're really awesome, and I have a lot of fun putting them into things when I'm improvising. So if I was doing some of the licks that I was showing you earlier, and I'm just messing around with things, I end up, what gauge strings do I use? I'm using 10s. I usually use 10s. Right now I'm in E flat. If I tune down much lower than that, I would go up a gauge in strings though. So that's kind of the go-to rule. All right, let me see. So that's called Green Tinted 60s Mind by Mr. Big. So, okay, let me see one thing really quick. So you guys, I also want to let you know that I'm going to give you, let's see. So I'm also going to give you guys a code. So thank you so much. Let's see. I know. So thank you guys for so much. Let's see. I know that some of you are, let's see, on here. That should do it. Okay, so for those of you, sorry, I had to block someone. So it's not fun when you're kind of messing up the chat. So in the future, I'm just gonna block you. So you should probably stop. Sorry, it just makes it like so unfun for everyone, I feel like. But anyways, that was, everybody on YouTube has been really awesome. So that's super cool. I really appreciate it. So let's see. I'm going to go back. Sorry, I had to go and block him. So I'm going to go back to the chat. And some of you, I wanted to let you guys know, you know, for sticking around, I'm going to give you the code. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a DVD series that we have that's really cool, and it's about playing from the heart. So if you've been sticking around and watching, that's something that I really like to do, and I feel like that's really everybody's goal, you know, when we're starting out. So playing from your heart is about a lot of things. It's about 3 things that we're going to go over. It's about techniques, which are hammer-ons and pull-offs. It's about fretboard knowledge, which is scales and chords and any arpeggios, all of that. And then it's also about connecting the two. So hand-brain coordination, connection, sorry. So getting what's in your head out of your hands. And so I'm going to give you guys this code for sticking around and watching. Sorry, I had to switch through like a million pages when I blocked that guy. But yes, one of you is saying Nuno Betancourt is awesome. A lot of you are giving shout outs to cool players. And Jesse's using an acoustic to play that. That was a little hard. But, you know, I do really appreciate practicing things on acoustic because I think it gives you, it's harder. And so when you're going to go back to the electric, that's also a really good way to practice. It's going to get your calluses more, I don't know, it's just going to give you better calluses. But I mean, I wouldn't practice everything that way, but it's a really good way to practice. And let me grab you guys those codes. So thank you so much for watching. And yes, please leave comments about topics you want to do. You guys have been really good about that. So of course today is tapping, and I'll give you some exercises to build up too. I just wanted to give you guys a song because I think that that's also a really fun way to practice. And let me know if you enjoy using the songs more, or what's the easiest, best way for you to practice. Okay, sorry, it's not showing me your comments anymore. But yes, Van Halen is a really good one. I can give you some Van Halen examples, and then I'll show you how to take what I learned from Paul. Okay, let's see. Here you guys go. And yes, Slayer is awesome too. I like a lot of metal bands, especially, and all the shred players. So YouTube, I'm going to give you that code in just a second. Let's see. So yes, all right. But how many of you actually tried to play that? I hope a lot of you. I think that one's really, really awesome. Yes, Paul Gilbert Intense Rock is awesome too. So now you guys have it in YouTube and in Facebook. So let's see. And Tama, I'm going to block you in a second too if you don't stop, because it's really annoying. Kind of ruins the lesson for everybody. So just leave if you guys are going to harass everybody in it, because I can't even see the questions from the people that are serious. And that's not why, we're doing these. So I'm going to go back to YouTube. So thank you guys. That is how to play. Oh, great. Thank you, Robin. That's awesome. All right. So like I was saying, I would build up with exercises. So starting with just exaggerating those motions is when you're tapping. When you get better at it, you eventually don't have to exaggerate these motions, but just in the beginning, it's good to do that. And then build up. And remember, I moved it around. But when we're just starting out, all I was doing is practicing tapping in general. So I would practice. I like that example from the song a lot, to be honest, because I like that it has these two different versions of it. So it has us hammering on before, right, when we get to that second half, and we go. Right? So I like this because a lot of tapping is like that. And I think it's really good to learn that you're planting before. So I'm tapping and then hammering on. So tapping and then hammering on. And then when we get here, we did more of the reverse. And then I like that tap slide a lot. So when I was saying that I would show you how to do that when you're improvising, which is what I was doing. So there. All I did was throw it in. And then I just played my normal licks. So I think those are really, really cool. And you can throw them in anywhere, really. You don't have to do it just there. Like you can throw it in there. Throw it in there. And like I was showing you before, the little whole steps. Bending. And then then throwing them in there. But I think the best thing that you can take away is exaggerating those motions and then building the strength there and then speeding it up. And then so what I did was instead of doing just big long groupings, I started to mix them up. All right, so I want to take some of your guys' questions too. Yes, you can start. Paul's asking about any multi-finger tapping licks. So I'm going to check in on Facebook too, and then I'm going to go over that really quick. Cool. So he's asking about multi-tapping, and so using more than one finger. So what we're going to do is just take the pentatonic scale, and then we're going to use our other hand to kind of do that stuff. So I actually have a lick that I wrote that I use that I think is pretty cool. But he's talking about more like these ones. And those are pretty hard, so when you're starting, you want to just tap and then use your other finger. I would say to get started, I mean, you have to really mute, so I should probably have less distortion, but... I would start with those ones and then, you know, incorporate them. Or what I was doing was, I actually wasn't using more than one finger tap, but I was using a kind of complicated progression. So I was going, using the scale and just kind of, you know, going around and making it a little more interesting. So I was tapping on the 6th string. I was quickly going on the 5th string, and I was using different notes here. And that's pretty fun. So I think being really creative with your taps is what I've gotten the most out of. So let me see something really quick. I'm going to give you guys, yeah, that's cool, Paul. So building those up, that's really what the focus of today was supposed to be. Oh, that's okay, Judith. That's cool. I'll see you next week. So, yes, you know, we're all about playing from your heart. So thank you guys for checking out our videos. And remember, there's also videos on our page. We have videos of songs, so don't be afraid to ask about songs that you want to learn. I have to, I guess, let me see the Facebook one. Okay, sorry. So I'm trying to get rid of a couple of you. You're kind of blowing up the Facebook chat, and I can't read any of the comments, and it's making it kind of hard to answer the people that are actually asking questions. But yes, playing from your heart. So check out our Killer Guitar Control Secrets, because even though I've been with the company for a while now, I can't read your comments. Okay. Tama, can you leave? It really ruins it. So, thank you guys. Sorry, everybody on YouTube, you guys are so awesome. I super appreciate it. So, that was kind of the focus of today, is I just want you guys to think about tapping and think about different ways to incorporate that in your playing. I like tapping a lot. I think it's super fun, you know, and I like the Van Halen ones a lot too. You know, and we have the really hard ones. And that one's hard because you're going like this. I hope you can see it okay. But you're tapping 12. You're pulling off. It's a pretty big stretch from 3 to 7. And then it's just one tap, and then you're using the strength in your fretting hand to hammer back on. So I'm going. So you have to get this little movement of coming back, which is a little hard. So. That one's cool because then he just moves it up. And I'm really flicking down. So when I'm here, I'm really pushing down. So. And then I do it on the 5th, 4th, all the way to the 3rd string, and then I just end with a. And I like to throw that in a lot of my own playing, just the. So. And then be creative with it. Right, like we were talking about earlier. So, we're almost actually time for questions. So in about 5 minutes, we'll do questions only, and we will go over all of that stuff. But for those of you starting out, I'm just going to give a quick recap. For those of you just starting out, remember simple exercises and exaggerating motions. So just building up. So always build up to things. Because sometimes that's hard, right? Because you might not have calluses in your picking hand yet. So slapping down and pushing off. And then when it gets easier, adding another finger. And then when that gets easier, add another one. And always practice it slow first. And then try to move around your tapping hand. So it can be, and you can do it in grooves. Or you can do it faster. Or we can slide, remember? So I think the slides are really cool. And then also our song. So I'll go over that song one more time if you guys had just tuned in. But it's just the beginning of Mr. Big's Green Tinted 60s Mind. So let me know if you can see everything okay. That's the first half. So I'm picking the first string, hammer on pull off, 2 to 0. So open 2, 0. Then on the second string I pick, open, open first string. So then pull off 7, 5, 0. And then you can speed it up when you get more comfortable with it. Hammer on the third string, 2 to 4, 5 to 7. So 2 to 4 in the third string, 5 to 7 on the first. Then I tap the 12th fret and pull off. So 12, 7, 5, 0. So put that all together. Then I tap 17, 10 to 12, then 5 to 7, so tap 17 for both of those. Then I moved my tapping finger into the 16th fret, and I moved my pointer finger down to the 4th fret to 0. So I go tap, 4, 0, back to 4 to 7. Then I tap slide, 12 to 16, pull off, pull off, pull off. So, oops. So let's try all that. Let's try that ending, and then we'll do everything. So that was tapping, 17, 10 to 12, 5 to 7, 4, move it in. And then let's put it all together. And you can play it faster. So that one is really fun. I think that one's super cool because it expands the idea of tapping with those slides. So I would say have fun with it. And like we've talked about before, when you're improvising or doing your own thing, throw that into your own playing and see what you can do. Like come up with some licks that have tap slides in them. You know, when you're playing. Whatever you can. So I also like that little move of the tap while you're descending with that bend. I think that's really cool. So yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please check out that link. I'm going to give it to YouTube again. So that's for our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. It's all about playing from your heart. So, you know, I was saying I've been doing these videos for a while now with guitar control, and it's really fun interacting with you guys and getting to do these live lessons. So please leave more comments about that. But also, you recognize my pick. This is a custom pick. But they're thick, but it's similar. I have these Dunlop ones too. So I use really, really thick picks. That's something that I get asked a lot too. It's better to comment right now on YouTube, is what Paul's asking. So I would stick to YouTube for now. So yes, thank you guys so much. I'm going to give you that link again. I really, really appreciate it. So let me grab that for YouTube and Facebook. It's pinned to the top of this chat, so you can check it out. But yes, playing from your heart. So like I was saying, I've been with guitar control for a while, and for me, what I get the most out of guitar is when I get to improvise and write my own songs and bring all the techniques from my heroes into my own playing and in my own style. So I showed you a couple ideas, but those are pretty much in my style. So try and take that and see what you can do with it. You know, in that Paul Gilbert thing, go ahead and throw that into a lick that you maybe typically play, but you don't have that little fresh spin on it. So try that. But yes, it's all about playing from your heart. So even though I've been here for a while now, and you've seen me on their website and YouTube channel and everything, and on these chats, they've been around a lot longer. So Killer Guitar Control Secrets is blending these three different things. So technique, fretboard knowledge, and hand-brain connection. And really just play from your heart. You know, you think that was different. So it's cool to have heroes and to want to sound like other people, but it's really the best to, you know, blend all your influences and find your own voice. So check out this DVD. Thank you for watching. There's your special discount code for sticking with me today. I really appreciate it. And now I'm going to take some of you guys' questions. So Magic Forest is asking about the Grip Master tools for strengthening your fingers. I've heard really different things about them. So I have used them before, but I really think the best thing for strengthening is exercises and just practice. So I had a really, really bad wrist injury where I was told I would never ever play fast again, and it was heartbreaking, and I thought I was never going to play guitar again. And long story short, I ended up just getting better technique, and it ended up benefiting me in the long run, but was something really hard to go through because, you know, when you have one goal and you think you're not going to get to do it anymore, it was devastating. But I heard that those are not good for you. I don't want to say that they 100% aren't, but I think stretching and anything like that, like I would say a good hammer-on pull-off, like warm-up would probably be better for you than the Grip Masters. That's my opinion, though, so who knows. You don't have any trouble tapping, but you feel like you're forcing your leads. It never feels spontaneous or natural. Any suggestions? So, you typically leave out your tapping, or you leave out tapping in your leads, or you leave out leads in general. So that's Paul. That's what I'm asking you, but I'm going to answer what I think you're asking. So if you're having trouble coming up with leads, I think that's really common. And I think, you know, when you hear people that do really cool ones or something, it can be stressful because if you're like so excited about something and you want it to be cool, that can kind of put stress on stuff. So what I would say is don't be afraid to mess up at all. You know, like, I think it was Blink-182 that said it, but I remember when I was a little bit younger and I was starting out, and I would put so much stress on being perfect all the time, and everybody messes up, and it doesn't matter. And especially in a lesson or, you know, at practice, like that's what that's for. And sometimes when you mess up, you actually find a really cool sound. So I would say keep a really open mind, and also jam tracks. I think jam tracks are super helpful. That was one thing that really, really helped me, is I used to improvise for like 5 hours. So let's see. Okay, I really can't read the Facebook chat. I'm sorry, guys. It's all blocked with these dudes. So if you guys could leave, I would really appreciate it. I don't understand why you even watch. Yes, I think sweep picking is something that we should go over. I think that's something super awesome that we can do. Oh, that's awesome. In the Philippines, that's crazy. Yes, so jam tracks. I would say try to find jam tracks. You can easily find them online, I'm sure, for free. But yes, it helps a lot. Tama and Legend, I don't really want you guys to chat on here anymore. How many metal zones do I own? I don't use a ton of pedals anymore. I have some Dunlop pedals I really like that I'm gonna use more. My fiance does a lot of stuff with pedals. He's really good. He was in a band for a long time that did a lot of cool, interesting sounds. And so, you know, when you were asking about like pushing yourself to have different leads and stuff, that was something that pushed me, was having somebody that plays totally different than me. So I'm not gonna answer you guys. Sometimes my strings squeal because the action is too low. Then you should probably raise your action just a little bit, but I like having really low action too, but you don't want that. That's too low. You don't want to fret out or anything like that. Oh, you leave out tapping because it feels forced. Maybe if you start incorporating it more, then, you know, I think it'll feel more natural, and maybe bring it into your leads somehow that you would like. You know, like if maybe you do a lot of speed picking, maybe you feel like tapping's weird, but it also could open up a whole ton of other things for you. MIDI Man can't find the Facebook chat. It's just on Guitar Control's Facebook page. I can't even see it. I'm gonna try. I can't read any of the questions. So let's see. I'm gonna try to pull it up. But yeah, thank you guys. And I have a quick tips lesson on Friday. So leave me a comment about what you'd like to do for a quick tip. So quick tips are about 15 minutes. I can't read any of the questions. Okay, let's see. Okay. Tama and Lachina write me so much. I'll explain stuff, but you guys can't ruin the chat before the lesson if you're going to explain that. Like, I would love to do a whole video on that, but I literally can't read anything from anybody else because you guys have left 300 comments or something. That's crazy. So don't ruin the chat, and I'll answer your questions. I'm a nice person. I like to have fun on these. So don't ruin it, and it'll be awesome. And ask real questions if that's something that you want to do. I think that's awesome. I hope you do, because it really does ruin it. Lachlan, are you guys friends in real life? And this is what you do in your spare time? Oh my gosh. Guys, we were talking about playing from the heart. Hello. But I'll fresh start with you if you just be nice from now on, please. Let's see. Okay, and oh my gosh. All right, so I'm gonna go back to YouTube then. So not really worried about being perfect at all, just never, yeah. I guess that's a good point. You're never gonna be perfect, I guess, but you do, I think that's also part of the fun though, because if you reach a certain level on guitar and, you know, you couldn't get any better, it wouldn't be fun. So also have that mentality and don't worry about it when you're doing stuff. Okay. Thank you. The YouTube chat's awesome. So there was another question I wanted to answer really quick. What amp do I like? I like using Axe Effects. I really like Axe Effects because it has so many different, oh gosh. I really like using Axe Effects because it has so many different presets in it, so I can get tons of different tones, and it's super helpful for me. So I really like that because I record a lot too, and that's something that I like to do. So, okay. All right, so let's see. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys are locking up the chat. This is lame. It used to be so fun to do these. So, okay, that would be awesome if you would leave. Thank you. So, yes, sorry. I use I use Axe Effects because I do a lot of recording, and I was working in a studio before my fiance and I moved out to Nashville, which Nashville is awesome. So if you guys are from Nashville, I like Nashville a lot. But I like that because I have so many different options in one. So I think that's something that's really, really cool. And, you know, you can also put pedals on all your different settings and stuff too. So it's a really easy way for me to get tons of different tones quickly. And I use it, you know, to go DI into my computer. You can use any, so someone was mentioning, let's see. So Scott is asking how to maintain fluidity between multiple chord shapes and positions while sweep picking. Practice, just going back and forth between two of the, you know, going back and forth between two different shapes. So, shout out to Nashville. Okay, so, got what like about Facebook. I know, I'm trying. Okay, so I guess by popular request, I'm being asked to get rid of some of the people on Facebook. So I'm going to do that. Scott, I'm sorry, can you ask your question again? Oh, you were worried that I would say that it takes practice. It does take practice, but the best tip that I have is to practice smart. So meaning that you want to isolate changes. So that's what I do, is I isolate changes and I go back and forth just a few times, and then they become really easy. So instead of trying to do everything all at once, where you're probably not going to be able to have much luck doing that because you're going to get overwhelmed by some things, just go with a few. Yes, it is always good to learn. And Vice Scott. All right. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, of course. The questions over here. So Mini Man was asking, can you do this with other scales? Yes, you can do all these concepts with other scales. So mix in minor, mix in whatever you want to do. Jabin, weren't you someone that was being mean to? So thank you guys so much. So please leave comments about the things that you actually want to learn, and I will be back on Friday for quick tips. So practice slow. So we were talking about practicing smart. What I mean by that is less is more. So sometimes when you're practicing these things, do it slowly and just exaggerate those motions, and then you don't have to spend hours and hours on things. You can just spend short amount of times. I know, guys, I'm trying. So Ray's asking how much I play a day. It depends on the day. Teaching has been something that's been awesome for me because I get to play all day. So I guess it depends on the day, but I like to play as much as possible. So let me see. Lachlan, you don't get to ask questions because you ruined the lesson. What would Paul Gilbert do? He would probably draw you a picture because he would think that you're not nice, and he did that for someone that was harassing him. He drew like a picture of them. It was really funny, actually. So see, guys, it always pays to be nice. Hey, Robert. So yes, check out Robert on Thursday. So I'll be on Tuesdays and Robert will be on Thursdays. Check out our killer guitar control secrets. Learn how to play from the heart. That's what all of us are all about. I'm sure Robert will tell you the same thing. So it's all about playing from the heart and about trying to get everything in your head out through your hands. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to cover those three things: technique, fretboard knowledge, and hand-brain coordination. So connection, how to get these things that are inside your head out. And like I was saying, you know, I myself have read a lot of guitar articles. I write guitar articles, and, you know, you can teach anybody a lick, but it's special to be able to learn how to play from your heart. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Robert will be here on Thursday. Please leave comments and let me know other things that you guys want to learn, and I'll see you next Tuesday and for quick tips on Friday.